Happy Tuesday morning, folks. Brad here. I'm going to clean and press a few books that I picked up this weekend at the East Coast Comic Expo. And maybe talk a little bit more about the expo and the experiences that we had there. It was a great time. Lots of good deals that were had. The vendors were awesome, except that one guy. And I'm sorry about that one guy, any vendor who was annoyed by him. It was my fault. That guy approached me about buying a bunch of comics, and I didn't want to deal with him on that end. So I told him about the expo, and then next thing you know, he was coming down. So, but that will probably be the last. You can't be, walking around telling people how to price their stuff and lowballing them on books and stuff, and just being a jackass. So. I don't think, we're an inclusive crew, but, we're inclusive with people that are inclusive. If you're not inclusive, you're probably not going to be asked back. And this particular guy was, I'm not even going to mention his name, but this particular guy was in one of our early expos, long before I came. And then, and when I told Kevy what was going on, Kevy was like, cool, but then afterwards, me and Kevy kind of dealt with it. And then Derek's like, yeah, that guy's horrible. I was like, what? Oh, yeah, he's just the worst. It turned out he was right. Derek is right on occasion. But yeah, so other than that, what a great time. The after party kicked butt. You got to hang out with people I don't get to hang out with a whole lot. Brian and Lisa from East Coast Games were at the after party, I think, for the first time. Got to hang out with Andrew Clark. He's always a blast. Sandy Carruthers. His wife Holly wasn't there this year. Like me, the first one of these after parties, I bonded with Sandy pretty hard. And then I think the next year he brought Holly along, and we had a great time. And this year Holly wasn't able to make it because she had some, I think she was gardening. Oh, this is nice. Daredevil 95, very nice white cover. I'm gonna get rid of whatever little dirt there's left on this thing. Let's see, what else? So I got to talk nerdy wrestling stuff with my old buddy Dan Kadare. Me and Dan went to high school together, and we've known each other since we were little. So that's always fun. He's good friends with Giorgio, so I get to see him at the after parties. He's in a little rock and roll band. He's in a band with Giorgio's wife Nadine called Which is Which. Great little punk rock band. My buddy PJ, who was also in the band called the Monoxides, who played our wedding, which is kind of cool because they were big. Wow, they're still pretty awesome. But in the 90s, they were a pretty big rock band coming out of here. Then they split for a while, and we begged them to play our wedding. And then after that, they kind of got back together. So, and we do actually, they do credit us for that. So that's pretty cool. What else do we have other than beautiful books to clean and press? The cosplay. I don't know if you guys, if you got to go to the show and you saw the cosplay, but we had a great crew. I think we grew. I think we had 2,400 the year before, and I think we went up to 27 this year, which is good. All the vendors seem to be really happy, except for a couple. Who always seem to be a little grouchy about stuff. It's fine. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Oh, nice white covered Hulk. Burp, 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 burp. Give it a little rubby there, and some rubby there. This week is going to be a lot of Brad Web Design stuff because I didn't neglect Brad Web Design. Any client who sent an update while I was preparing for the expo got done. But new design, not so much. I haven't worked on a new website in a bit. So I want to get on that. I have a few updates to do for sites. I got to get that done before we go away in July. Me and the Comic Book Expo folks go to our buddy Matt's on the island, usually after the expo for a few days of winding down. So we're doing that the 1st of July. But I won't be going for too long. Like, we have the whole place for a week if we want it, but I don't want to be away from the puppy for that long. I'm good for 4 days. When I go away, I'm good for 4 days, and then it's like, okay, I got to get home. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but that'll press right out. Is that like the coolest ad ever? Man, I remember that game. It's horrible. All right. At the time, we thought it was great because we didn't have anything else to really compare it to. Let's do this guy here, and then I think we'll probably call it a day for a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of pressing. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to talk about the expo. Oh, I got to spend some time with Mike DeAdder. I love spending time with Mike DeAdder, and I'm trying to recruit him into our Fortnite crew, which might actually happen. Like, my partner Tony is a bit of a celebrity. He's the morning show host on our local radio station, but he's not just our local radio station. I think he's syndicated right across Canada. So, like, right across Canada, they know who Tony Smith is pretty much. And we play Fortnite together every day for like an hour. And Mike knows him. Mike knows who he is, I think. And a weird story, like, me and Tony both live on the same street. We live across the street from each other. Mike grew up four houses down on my side of the street. Just down the street. So we've bonded over that in the past. And in fact, the first time we met, we were talking about, where I live, and, I knew that he grew up here because of Tony. Tony had told me that, yeah, Mike DeAdder just lived there. And they painted the house over the years. The people that used to have it, or the new people that bought it, painted it. And they painted it yellow. Now, I'm sitting there with Mike and shooting the poop, and I said the words, they painted it yellow. And he freaks out. And he's like, what'd you say? I was like, they painted it yellow. The house that you used to have on our street is now yellow. And he calls his brother over because his brother was there. He's like, tell me what you just said. And I said, they painted it yellow. And he's like, that's what Mom keeps saying. So I guess their mom was having dementia, and she kept saying they painted it yellow, and they didn't know what that was about. And I kind of helped them solve that riddle, which I thought was pretty cool. So so we might start playing some Fortnite with Mike DeAdder. How cool would that be? And Ed Bryson, which apparently his name is Brisson. Ed Brisson. But yeah, so I'm going to probably try to get Ed in on it as well. So that'd be a great crew. That's about it for that book. So yeah, now I'm going to be pressing for the rest of the day on top of my web design duties, which isn't a whole lot, but it's enough to keep me busy today for sure. All right, I lied. I'm going to do this one last book because it was sitting there. Who else did I party with at the after bar? Let's see. Remy and his brother Renee. Always a pleasure. I love spending time with Remy. Don't get to a whole lot. When he first took over the Comic Con years and years ago, me and Amanda went over one night for a little party, and it was very fun. It's a long time ago. And then he had a kid. My kids are already grown up. I have one that just bought a house. It's 25. And my daughter Madison will be 21 soon, and she's still figuring stuff out, but she's got a real good head on her shoulders, so she should be okay. Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work to get the website up and running, or get it kind of audited and get everything back to the way it was. Because like the books that we sold, I didn't really keep track of it. And I added a ton of stuff before we went, hoping I'd sell it all. So I'm going to have to add like, I don't know, 20 adventure comics to the website. And then all this stuff that we've cleaned and pressed, or that I will have cleaned and pressed this week. But yeah, I'm very happy to have the comic book stack to clean and press nice and big again, because I was getting pretty low. Yeah, okay, that is it for this morning. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll probably be back tomorrow, the next day, and do some more. Talk to you later.